Man, do you like podcasts? Well then,
welcome to
No Gimmicks Needed!
So, what do you guys want to talk about?
This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show.
I usually don't do Raw reviews and Smackdown reviews anymore like that, unless a show is really like newsworthy or stuff happens on it. And usually when I do it as part of the No Gimmicks Needed podcast. So since the podcast is running late, like for recently, the past couple weeks, I've been getting on Tuesday, there's no way I could not talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw tonight and wait till next week, to put up on the podcast like next Monday or next Sunday. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to add this as part of episode 319 to the podcast. But this is, y'all going to see me. Y'all can see this is going to be the YouTube version of it. But I'm still going to add to the podcast because, man, I saw Raw and I was actually thoroughly entertained by Raw. Believe it or not, because we had John Cena and CM Punk face to face. We had the return of Ron Killings. We had a championship match between Gunther and Jey Uso. We had 2 King of the Ring qualifying matches. And believe it or not, we even had the return of Nikki Bella get laid out on her back. So that was all good for me. So we had a lot of things to talk about in this show. I was like, well, we're going to talk about it. And we can't wait for any longer about it. So we're going to get up into Raw. I'm going to give you guys my review of Monday Night Raw right now because we got to talk about it. So look, without any further ado, breaking things down, like once again, this is not going to be a complete, detailed match breakdown because I usually, once again, I see Raw and then I'll see SmackDown and I'm like, okay, I'll probably even see half of it and I won't even take notes and I had to go back throughout the week to probably get some notes and all stuff together and then talk about it on the podcast. So I don't have any notes written down. I can go by what I just saw off the top of my head and then paraphrase for you guys, but we got things to talk about. So Raw kicks off with John Cena. John Cena makes his way out to the ring, and the first thing he's going to address is because R-Truth was the one that screwed him and his team lost at Money in the Bank on Saturday. And John Cena was pissed. And then, he says, it was Let's Go See and Cena Sucks chance, but he says, listen, what they taught him at Money in the Bank is that the truth is a lie. They opened their mouths and, you wasted your energy on a sideshow comedian whose greatest achievement is pretending to be me. And granted, like I said, for the past couple of years, John, R-Truth talk about something, that's my childhood hero, John Cena, and that you doing the John Cena stuff. So yeah, he been doing them moves for a while. So, and he said they thought that y'all did it. And so I was like, this is the one thing I said that they need to do with Cena, like, because right now, in my personal opinion, Cena's heel turn has sucked. So in order to get them back on track, you need to let him attack the people that attack the person that they really love, and that's R-Truth. And he said that you thought you accomplished anything. He talking to the fans out here. You spineless keyboard warriors. You ignorant armchair activists. Actually, these are some things I may have to use. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm liking your terminology here, right? He said, you don't have any real power to change anything, even though they do. And the crowd boos. It seems like, R-Truth is a gimmick. They will spit out from a year from now. Won't even care about him. R-Truth will never use Cena to benefit one of his garbage pity parties again. Now, it's like Truth screwed him. I don't think they're gonna circle back to that, especially what happened in this promo, and especially what happened later on. So I don't necessarily know what the plan is, and if it was a work, they would have a plan already. But guess what? They don't, because it wasn't a work. But I'm not gonna get too deep into it. So he's like, look, I'm on a retirement tour. Now I got 36 days. He's adding dates on there, right? And then he said, but you know what? No, he said, I had 36 days. And then now it's 27. And since then, now we got down to 19 remaining dates. And he said, but you know what? I beat all the, the top names, people that you cheer for, R-Truth, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. And I beat them out, and I beat all the best of them. CM Punk's music off. You ain't beat CM Punk yet. And the crowd erupts when CM Punk comes out. Huge ovation. And Punk says, CM Punk comes out there, and then he says, you know what, to paraphrase it, I'm not out here kissing the final boss's ass like you are. And I'm not standing for TKO, defending for billionaires. Punk is here to defend for the people. The people are my boss. So, in 2011, they picked him to be the voice of the voiceless. And then CM Punk said, Cody's the best that we got. So, to paraphrase it, look. John Cena says, listen, I ain't got but many dates left. And you know how we used to do things. John Cena, CM Punk, one last time. You know, one heated rivalry from 2011. One last time for this championship. Let's do it. And the crowd erupts, but he said, ain't gonna be tonight. Now, when I predicted like we're gonna have a 2-night SummerSlam, so I figured they would try to, because Cena and Punk had a good match at SummerSlam. The Money in the Bank match was better, but that was still part of that summer of Punk. So it was like, okay, well, we can do it at SummerSlam this year, right? Well, Cena says, no, we're not gonna do that. If you want a championship match, it's going to be at Night of Champions, which is at the end of June, in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. If you want your championship, come to Saudi Arabia and get it. Now, this was for those who don't know, CM Punk has been open about WWE taking blood money from Saudi Arabia. Especially when they had a couple incidents over there. CM Punk has been very outspoken about Saudi Arabia and not going over to Saudi Arabia and not taking their blood money and things like that. So it's a heel move for Cena to be like, listen, we know you said you want to go over there, but now I'm gonna force you to go over there if you want this championship match between me, right? Now, I don't know what CM Punk's going to do or what the storyline's going to be. It's like maybe there's enough money to just throw at CM Punk and he'll just go over there. Honestly, I'm a kind of guy that I would like at least somebody to stand on their morals, to be honest with you. And if you can make it think like if CM Punk don't go over there, then you can put R-Truth in that spot. But it's like when we get to it, we'll talk about it. But you got the heat behind R-Truth, and it's like you just don't want him to lose again. So you kind of want to steer away from that part. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going to happen with that. Maybe because once again, if Saudi Arabia is going to pay for it and they want to talk, because I was listening to Solid and before I was getting ready for this review, and he said that one of his fans from Saudi Arabia, was talking about how they felt about CM Punk, but then when this match was teased, that their arena start selling out. It's like 3 a.m. over there, or at least when Raw was happening. So it's a possibility that if they know CM Punk is coming and they sell out, that CM Punk could just be going over there. I don't necessarily know. I don't know what the situation is going to be like, but that was a crazy way to to open the things up. So we had Chad Gable taking on AJ Styles. I didn't get a chance to see much of this matchup, but AJ Styles does hit with the Styles Class and wins the matchup. It was a good matchup. Like I said, it was Chad Gable. It wasn't El Grande Americano at all. Backstage, we had Liv Morgan warming up when Roxanne Perez walks up, and Morgan signs her and says that she will advance to the tournament, and Morgan will win and defeat Io Sky for the Women's Championship at SummerSlam. And Perez says, no, they're on the same page about bringing the title back to the Judgment Day. And Morgan said, like, stay out of her way. And Perez was like, well, may the best woman win. And Morgan was like, I will. And before leaving. So we got the first round. So this is the format they're doing. They're doing 4 fatal 4-ways, and then we're going to have the semifinals, and then the finals is going to be at Night of Champions. So the first one that we had, this is the women's bracket. Actually, if I could find the image of it, I'll put it up on the screen right now. But I did take a picture of it, so I'm going to read off what who is going to be part of the women's bracket for the show. Now, the women's bracket, we have for this is the one of the fair 4-ways tonight. It was Rhea Ripley, Kairi Sane, Liv Morgan, and Roxanne Perez. The other one on Raw that's probably gonna be next week. It has here the return. Listen, the return of Asuka, Stephanie McCoy, Raquel Rodriguez, and Ivy Nile. And I was like, okay, because first of all, Asuka ain't been in a match in over a year, and I'm like, and this how y'all just gonna announce her? Then on Smackdown, they have they got Jade Cargill, Meechin, Piper Niven, and Nia Jax. And another fair 4-way, they got Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, Chelsea Green, and Candice LeRae. It sucks that you can look at this and be like, hey, I know who's taking the pin, and I know who's not taking the pin. So, but right now, we had a Fatal 4-way. This Fatal 4-way was pretty good. There was a point where Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan were working together with each other. But it did. Rhea was just basically the big muscle, but Triple H don't want to pin anybody. He doesn't want to pin anybody at all. And later in the match, Kairi Sane hits the insane elbow on Liv Morgan, but Roxanne Perez saves Liv from getting pinned, but rolls up pins Kairi Sane for herself, and Roxanne Perez is advancing into the Queen of the Ring. So I thought this was a pretty decent Fatal 4-way matchup for the women. Then we go. I'm not doing any backstage stuff like that because I think they had Io Sky talking to Nikki Bella, saying you're an inspiration to me. She's not. But Becky Lynch comes out to address the crowd and talk about something. How come I didn't get any? You deserved a chance when I came out here. I won the championship and stuff like that. However, even with I want to speed through this because as she's doing the promo, she gets attacked from behind by Bayley. Bayley is back. I thought Bayley would come back at Evolution. I thought when they announced that they're doing Evolution in July, I thought that's when they would say for Bayley to come back because I thought that her and Lyra Valkyria would have their third match in their trilogy to blow it off. I mean, Lyra won the first one. Becky won the second one. I'm like, is she not going to have a third one? And it looks like it's still possible that she could have a third one, but it looks like they're probably just going to try to push to Bayley, or they may just have like Lyra have her third one at Night of Champions, and then Bayley gets her match at Evolution. I don't say no, but I was like, but Bayley's back. It's good to see Bayley come back, but honestly, it felt like as hot as this crowd was, it was once again it gave me. It felt as though that they didn't care as much, to be honest with you. But, I'm glad to see Bayley back. So, then as Michael Cole and Wade Barrett are talking about what happened, a masked figure comes up on the table. And it's R-Truth. He has like the same gear that he had on and Money in the Bank. Had the hoodie covered up, wearing all black and everything like that. And then he grabs the microphone and he was just like, look, they heard, they listened, and they understood. And because of you, R-Truth is back. And the crowd chanted for him. He said, y'all brought R-Truth back. They won it. And R-Truth's back for the people. So he says, you know what? They all love R-Truth. He loves, he love all y'all. But he said, but R-Truth can be too funny at times. R-Truth can be too nice. Too forgiving. Not me. As soon as he said not me. See, I'm a wrestling fan. I don't just watch WWE. I watch all wrestling, right? I do gotta watch World AAA. After seeing Worlds Collide, I gotta watch World AAA, right? Oh, look, I never watched AAA before. This took me back to TNA. 2002, that run that he had, and he was the NWA champion, I was like, Ron Killings is coming back. That one's coming back. We got a little glimpse of 2011 when he was a heel, but no, he's coming back when he said not him, because Ron Killings and R-Truth are in the same like it's the split personality almost in a way. And he said, I wish you would. I was like, yeah, it's here. I was Birdman hair rubbing. I was like, man, it's here. And he said, R-Truth says he feels different. R-Truth's like, I feel different. I feel alive. For anyone who thinks he's a lie, a sideshow act, or a gimmick, he takes out a pair of scissors. Legit scissors. And R-Truth starts cutting his locks on national television. The crowd gasped because we've seen for the amount of time Truth has been over there, he's had hair, and he's been having locks for years now. Good looking lock, especially at 53 years old. He having locks, and he cuts his locks off, all of them, and he got a holy shit chant. R-Truth got a holy shit chant for cutting off locks. The only one that that probably got the hair cut off and then got that kind of a chant. And then he holds up his locks and he said, "The truth has set me free." Bro, it took me back to 2011. I swear to you, I was hyped up. I was hyped up. He says, "I am the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and put some respect on my name." And walks off the announce table. I said, you nailed it. That promo was awesome. That's what we needed. That's what we needed from our bro. We've been waiting for this for the longest time. Of having serious Ron Killings. Like the 24/7, 7-Eleven, I-95 champion. That's R-Truth. The one that can make everybody laugh. The one that is sit there. It's just a jobber to the stars, stuff like that. That's what R-Truth is. But this Ron Killings is back. I don't know what the plan is for him. I don't know. But I do like to see him go on a run. I know his son treated out one last run. Like, as 53 years old, he could be going on a run. And I think it's like, let us give you a proper send-off. Because obviously he ain't going to be wrestling for no next 4 or 5 years. If he can have like another year run off, and just have a decent, strong enough run, y'all give him a Legends contract, and y'all put this man in the Hall of Fame. Let that man do that. He deserves that, opposed to just getting a phone call and just saying, "Hey, yo, we're not gonna renew your contract. You make too much money. You're too old. Whatever." For somebody who gave them 17 years straight, because remember, the man was in the Attitude Era. They let him go, had his run at TNA, and then come back to WWE for 17 years. Stop it. Give that man what he deserves right now. So that was great. And then we go into the King of the Ring for the men's. And once again, I guess I paraphrase. I didn't get to anything because honestly, I forgot to even say that Seth Rollins came out during the CM Punk and John Cena promo, just holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. Still don't know what's going on with Seth Rollins. I still didn't know if that's the way if he should be the one that won. But after seeing this match, I think I know what they're going to try to do. This one now for the men. I won't try to pull up that graphic if I can, but right now I have the list for the men when it comes to the Fatal 4-Way. So now the men on this side, this was Sami Zayn, Penta, Dominic Mysterio, and Braun Breaker. The other Raw Fatal 4-Way is probably going to happen next week. Is Sheamus, Rusev, Bronson Reed, and a mystery person. Just the 3 names alone that you named, I was like, that's going to be a match. I can't wait to see that one. Then on SmackDown side, we have Orton, Aleister Black, Carmelo Hayes, and LA Knight. And then we have Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, Andrade, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Listen, I remember them saying they're not going to renew Shinsuke's contract, but I thought Shinsuke was gone. I forgot he was still there. I was like, I don't know when this man's contract is up, but he's still there. But once again, we know who's taking the pin now, right? So this was a good Fatal 4-Way matchup. I thought, once again, Braun Breaker was intense, okay? And these torpedo things, the torpedo spirits that he be doing is great. It's a damn good Fatal 4-Way. So I was like, okay, well, they're not going to have Breaker winning, because why would he go to some extent a chance for the title when that needs to be Seth's thing, okay? So it wouldn't be Breaker, right? But it's like, do they want to keep pinning Penta, or is, what are they going to do with Dominic Mysterio? Like, what's going to basically happen here, right? But Braun Breaker hits a huge spear on Penta on the outside, and then LA Knight comes out anyway, gives him the BTE, the BFT on the outside, takes out Braun Breaker, and then he goes to the crowd, and then so now he gonna screw with Seth, since Seth got back at him, he gonna get back at Seth's people, and then Zayn hits a Helluva, he gonna down Mysterio and hits the 3 count. So it was a damn good Fatal 4-Way, and it was. I expected to see LA Knight there, but I was like, because at first I was like, well, I want him to win Money in the Bank. That's no secret, but him, I was like, well, he's got some. He got to need something to do. I think him being in a rivalry with Seth Rollins, and right now could be pretty beneficial towards him. So now, since he screwed over Braun Breaker, we already know that this is not going to go unchecked. So he's not going to be winning that Fatal 4-Way on SmackDown. I almost can guarantee about that one. Jump ahead a little bit. Nikki Bella returns to Raw. You can look, but you can't touch. She comes Raw, and she's in hometown. She said in her hometown of Phoenix, Arizona. I didn't know she was from there. But she's basically there to promote the Evolution pay-per-view, right? And I was just like, okay, that's fine. And because, Women's Division has come so far and all the talent they got right there. And all of a sudden, Liv Morgan comes out. She storms out, and then she says, look, if Bella's going to talk about the best woman division, she better talk about Morgan. And she says she's the most talented woman in the division, and she proved it again and again. And she said she was the Women's World Champion all of last year. And she is a record-breaking tag team champion. And she says that Nikki Bella is jealous because you're jealous of everything that she has, which is she has respect, she has a championship, and she has a man. For those that I think Nikki's getting a divorce right now. And then Bella looks kind of disgusted, but she says, but you know what? Okay, that's cool though, but my thing, you do got a man, but who does he belong to? Is it you or Roxanne Perez? And so she goes to leave, but then Liv Morgan stops her and gives her the Oblivion and takes out Nikki Bella. So it looks like, I don't know if we're going to get, because Liv Morgan is a tag team champion, are we going to really get Liv and Raquel against the Bellas? Because obviously that's why the Bellas is here. It's to set up something. Or Nikki Bella is there to set up something. It may be Nikki versus Liv at Night of Champions, or not Night of Champions, or Evolution, or it may be the Bellas against Liv and Raquel for the tag team championships. I don't know. It's it's like, sure, this is what we got here, right? So then it's time for the main event. It's main event Jey Uso coming out with his son against Gunther. Something in my spirit was telling me that I thought if there may be a cash in tonight, but I thought, that Jey Uso, I didn't peg Jey Uso losing until SummerSlam, at least, if that. But I actually liked this match better than the WrestleMania matchup. They had a pretty decent match here. I really felt as though this was better than the WrestleMania matchup. A lot more drama into it. Jay's son's in the front row, but as soon as I saw his son out there with him, I was just like, yeah, he's losing. He's losing. And I know how they're gonna do it. I said, but he's losing. So towards the end, they start exchanging sleeper holds. And, Jay starts fighting out of it, but for the most part, Gunther just locks in that sleeper hold. And Jay passes out. And that's it. Gunther cleanly wins the championship. There was no Money in the Bank cash in. There was no roll-ups. Jay came in there with the taped up ribs because his ribs was injured from the Ice Eye Moonsault by Logan Paul and by the Tsunami Splashes by Bronson Reed. So that was a little bit of a caveat in the match for him. So, but I'm just like, well, I guess, but when Gunther was doing the championship, I really didn't. I thought Jay May would have won, and they was gonna get the title off him at SummerSlam to give him that little WrestleMania SummerSlam run. But I knew a lot of people was like, I was expecting him to hold a championship that long anyway, and it's only been he won it back in April, so April about 2 months now. So I was like that. Well, he not winning it back now. I'll tell you that. Now I don't know if it's gonna be now. Gunther, who's gonna win the King of the Ring to face Gunther at SummerSlam? Because I think Gunther may hold on to it unless Seth cashes in. Then again, everybody's like, well, what's gonna happen with that with Goldberg? Is Goldberg gonna have a retirement match against Gunther? I don't know anything about that shit at all. But it was a televised loss. I think he was gonna lose it on television. I knew he was gonna lose it soon, but I was like, I wasn't expecting him to lose it on television. I was like, listen, it's over now. I don't think he's going to win it back. It's like they gave him a championship. They gave him a 2-month run with it. So, but Gunther right now is is your champion. That's how it's going to go. So overall, Raw was a thumbs up to me. I enjoyed it for what it was. Like I said, I didn't have much. I know I missed out on a lot of things because once again, I was watching Raw with the intent that it was going to be background, and I wasn't going to be taking no notes because nothing that I felt as though was going to be really happening other than the championship matchup. But they turned out to be a newsworthy thing of Raw, which I had to talk about. So, if you guys watch the YouTube version, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you post in the comments down below how you guys feel about Raw. I want to know how y'all felt about Jey Uso's title run. I also want to feel about how y'all guys feel about the 3 things I want y'all to post in the comments. How y'all feel about? How y'all feel about? Do you think CM Punk's actually gonna go to Saudi Arabia? How y'all feel about the return of Ron Killings? And how do y'all feel about Jey Uso's championship run? Like, do you think the experiment of failure is over? Like, how do y'all feel about it? Post that in the comments down below. And if you guys on the YouTube part, we are about to sign out. But like I said, in the YouTube part, man, thank you. Like, subscribe, and share, and all that great stuff. And I'll see you next time.